Welcome to episode 10 of my med school journey. And today I'm your presenter, Innocent Sakala. Today we are having one of our own who was our leader, the Mensa president, former secretary general, which you were secretary general. Yes. Please welcome Dr. Landilani Tembo. Dr. Landilani, you are welcome to our episode today.
Thank you so much, Innocent. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we are glad to have you too. So Dr. Landilani Tembo, I want you to tell our viewers there, who is Dr. Landilani Tembo? How can you describe it?
Okay, that's the hardest question in any interview. Well, I just think of myself as a young charismatic doctor who is passionate about preventive medicine and vaccine, because I believe most of our issues that we have in terms of disease prevalence they are better treated if you look at the preventive level, as well as where vaccines involved. We try to bring in the issue of vaccinations. Of course, that's basically part of it.
So how can you describe your medical journey from first year until second year when you finished in just one sentence? How can you describe it?
Okay, wow. I think it's been a roller coaster, full of rewards, ups and downs, but through it all, I think at the end of it, I would say God's faithfulness prevailed.
Yes, I know that the medical journey can be difficult, especially when you come from the main campus there to come here and treat well. There you face ups, mostly you pass there and you come here to treat well, then you start going down. How did you manage the pressure coming from there?
Okay, I think I can use one word for that. Routine. Of course, when we look at medicine, right? We learn most of it by, mentorship. Okay, so I was privileged enough when I came to Ito campus. The room I was staying two seniors. One was my medicine, who was in fourth year. The other one was in fifth year. So I had this privilege where I could actually consult and ask to, how to go about everything and the like. So what happened was that from all I gathered in terms of consultation, I figured that I needed to put a routine in place, right? I had a schedule which I tried to follow as much as possible. Okay, this one was basically, it would guide me. Okay, so for example, 8 to 13, that's the time for classes, right? Okay, and then 13 to 14, that's lunchtime. 14 to 17 you have labs, 17 to 19 maybe you are going to rest, make your supper, and then 20 to maybe 01, that's time for study. Of course, sometimes you have to break it because depending on how the strain is, but I felt like the routine actually did help me a lot in order to put my life in order, because obviously, like we mentioned, the life at main campus, right, a bit different from the campus. Because that side you are more free, so to say. Even the staff you're learning side are a bit easier as compared to here. Here it's bulky, it's a lot, and it's very demanding. So you need to have some form of discipline that can help you align your goals with what you want to achieve. Yeah, but however, it's personalized anyway. Yeah.
So I'm sure that despite all those planning and everything, you might have faced a lot of problems. What are some of the problems which you faced during your medical journey to come here?
All right, I think the problems or challenges that I faced, I would put them perhaps into two categories. Yeah, I would say personal problems as well as interpersonal problems. Right? I'll start from main campus, for instance. Right? You are living with people from different programs. Others have more time than you. Right? Okay. So you find that you, who has your schedule is very rigid. You have labs all day. So you find that you come to a room, maybe you want to study, then the other person will say like, I want to sleep, right? So that became somehow a problem. Of course, it being medicine, it's very demanding, right? You spend approximately 90% of your time on books or stuff to do at school, right? So when it came to things like socializing, it was a bit difficult to find time to spare time with friends, of course, relationships and stuff like that. So those are some of the interpersonal problems that I faced. In terms of personal problems, I think the number one is everyone faces this one, academic pressure, right? You come to class, right? You have lectures the whole day, you have labs in the afternoon. Okay, the only time you have is the evening, but by then you're tired. right? So you need to race and then you have to cite. So how do you balance that? That was one challenge that I also faced as a personal challenge. Then the other one, of course, was in addition to the same academic pressure, was time management, because each hour you have in a day, right, has to be catered for. So now it's up to you to know and prioritize what should I do within the time I have, and what can I defer to do later. So those are some of the challenges that I was facing as a medical student.
So despite facing all those problems, but you managed to find yourself in Zamesa, you acted as the Secretary General at first, you went on to be the president. Most of the medical students are very much scared to take up this leadership position because they know now they will be required to perform this duty and again to start, which is very hard. How did you manage and what motivated you to take up this leadership position?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, it's a good one. For starters, I think things of leadership, or let me say service, right? There should be things of the heart. You just don't wake up and say, no, I want to be also president, I want to be president, right? You must be yourself, at least in my own view, right? I think I do better in serving people, okay? Personally, I've always had a passion for saving, right? Even just from the time we came to campus in 2019, right? The reception we got from our seniors through Nzameta was very motivating, okay? The orientation itself, we could see the patriotism, right? You feel a sense of belonging, look, this is our community. And the thing that there's a difference between Lujo campus and British campus, right? It's a very big difference. In the sense that here we're a smaller group, right? We're a community. Okay, you need to find where you belong. You need to find your foot in your campus. At main campus, of course, all of us, I think we just ignore those associations, even the union, when invested. If you come to your campus, you get to learn that here we're a family, right? And once you know that, you see, if we're a family, we need to help each other, right? So what role can I play in facilitating, the wellness of our family? Yeah. So of course, because of that same passion, started volunteering in Zameta, right? During the rotation, I was part of the team that were renting. Open air clinics, I was joining. There is maybe an activity going around, I was part of organizing. And then, before I knew it, I found my name on the ballot paper, right? And then, here I was.
It's such an inspiring journey. So now that you are done with med school, you are now into the society. What are your plans now? What do you plan to do? Do you want to continue to practice as a medical doctor? Do you want to venture into other fields like maybe public health? What are your plans?
All right, so I think I have a strong passion for human health, right? So whatever the future holds, it has to do that relation. Of course, I think I would call it a doctor dream, right?
Yes.
Like we all have the Zambian dream, American dream. So obviously I have to do my internship, right? Once I've done my internship, hopefully by then I'll be very sure of what exactly I want to specialize in. Okay, then I have to do my master's in that specialty and find my footing there. But of course, in all its entirety, because whatever the case, in the medical profession, you also need to have people represent. You need to have people that can fight for affairs. And I'm sure right now, at the doctor's affairs, people will say they're not in good shape, right? Yeah. So obviously, I'm aspiring that if time allows, as well as, of course, the profession itself, okay, they give me a mandate, obviously I have to take up those positions as well as practicing as a doctor of my choice.
Right now, it's been hard to encourage someone who is a junior or someone who's coming from high school to pursue the career of medicine. You see there are a lot of medical schools which have been opened up and even enrolling has gone up while the job security is nowhere. You find that about a few months ago there was a newspaper article which said about 2,700 doctors are still not employed. How can you encourage someone to keep on pushing, who is maybe in first year or who wants to come and do medicine? How can you encourage them to keep pushing the medical doctors to be able to save them?
Okay, yeah, you are definitely right. I think we have a lot of doctors on the market currently. However, when you look at our country, right, there is what we call the doctor-to-patient ratio, right? WHO, World Health Organization, right, they recommend that each country must have a ratio of 1 doctor to 5,000 patients, right? That's like the lowest they would have.
Yes.
But right now, currently in Zambia, we are actually at one doctor to 12,000 patients, which is way below what WHO recommends, right? This basically means, despite everything that's going on in the country, there is a high deficit of doctors, right? Of course, I think this is what I would appeal to the government, of course, maybe through relevant authorities, is that they need to give us a roadmap, right? Because, like I've said right now, I think even me, if I was the first, right, I'd feel a bit discouraged because of the current situation, right? I think the government, through the Ministry of Health and maybe other relevant authorities like Zambia Medical Association, right, they need to give us a roadmap on how, our profession is going, okay, and what the mitigation plans that these doctors will have on the market will end up being in the streets for the rest of their lives. Yeah. Nonetheless, again, when it comes to things like medicine, right, I think medicine is a very delicate career. Of course, most careers are, but medicine itself is quite delicate because you're dealing with human life, right? It's something that has to come from your deepest root of passion. Okay, so for those that are passionate about medicine, I believe most people at actually medical schools are actually passionate about it, right? So I think you need to make sure that your passion keeps you going. Okay, of course I understand you may not get the job right away like it was in the past,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So you need to find a way in which you can survive after you are done with medical school. Okay, so in that regard, people need to actually learn to acquire skills, okay, extra skills and medical skills itself. So at least when you're able to, you are done with your school, you can survive and keep yourself busy. Well, that's what you've like. But all in all, I think in terms of medical, the medical field, right, we have a big gap that needs to be filled. Of course, the filling of the gap will come through the policies that our leaders have to make to ensure that the policy that's done and keep coming as we need to have more doctors in the market.
So now coming to that, the student populace now is becoming worried with the pressure which is there that when you finish you have to go ahead to write the HPCZ examination and go on. How can you encourage someone who is currently in the junior places, the first years, or let's start from those people who are the ones, the 4th years, 5th years, 6th years and 7th years to prepare for HPCZ exam? How best can they prepare?
Okay, great. So again, when it comes to things like preparing for an exam, these personalized ways, right? You need to find what works for you. However, in general concepts, right? Since the licensure exams come in two parts, right? You have the OSC and the theory. Okay? For the OSC, basically, it's the stuff that you do on the ward time and again. Okay? So for you to pass the OSC, I think what you just need to do is be present on the ward, participate in activities, right? When you're supposed to click a patient, read up on the patient, go and present, because you won't find anything different from what you see on the ward, because you find the same patients that you see on the ward, the ones that bring in the legs. Okay? So that one, I think, my encouragement to the people that are to students is that you have to be present on the wards, right? Take part in what activities, make sure to do your part as a student doctor, because only through that we'll be able to understand how you're going to manage the patient who has diabetes mellitus. Okay? Yes. When it comes to theory parts, personally I never liked theory my whole life, especially the ones for single best answer, because you have to think and think. Sometimes you ask me, who is the president of Zambia? Hakainde Hichilema, HH, Dr. HH. So you don't know what happening, right? So nonetheless, I think for multiple choice questions, right, it requires you to understand the concept behind the topic, okay? Because they can ask you anything. So what I mean is this: let's say you're going through multiple choice questions, right? And then you find that the answer is A. You have to understand why is B, not the answer. Because next time the question, don't twist the question. Get the point, right? So the core point of single best answer is for someone to understand how you're going to arrive at the answer and eliminate the other ones which are the best options. So I think that's basically what I can encourage. So for that one, you need to do a bit of practice with those questions. Just don't memorize the answer. Say the answer is A or the answer is insulin, right? You have to make sure to understand why is insulin and why aren't you giving the other anti-hyperglycemic drugs. Yeah.
So there's this issue where in 7th year you had to write the deferred exam. I know that most of the students are faced with different challenges, and some end up writing deferred exam, some end up writing supplemental exam. What can be your advice to us as students who are maybe get scared when such exams are presented to us, or we are just, how can we best keep our mental health intact during such instances?
All right. Yeah, I think supplementary exams, deferred exams are things that people actually say are hard. If you're writing those, yeah, your chances of you passing are very low. I think we need to change the notion, okay? Supplementary exams or deferred exams are basically normal exams, just like other exams, right? So I think we need to disregard that myth of saying, if you're writing a SAP, you are going to fail definitely. Okay? So if, for example, you are unable to write the exam with your colleagues at the point in time when you're given, a supplementary exam or deferred exam, okay, all you have to just prepare accordingly. Of course, I understand you may, especially for supplementary exams, people think as if you're writing a SAP because you didn't do the last exam, right? For different reasons. Could be someone who's going through a bad time, okay? All in all, it just means that if you're writing a supplementary exam, it just means that the exam you wrote, your answers weren't good enough. So as you're preparing for that supplementary exam, what you should ask yourself is, what should I do better from what I did last time, right? What can I do to make sure that my efforts become more than they were last time? When it comes to deferred exams is just normal exam, it's like another exam. And I think we should be embracing the culture of talking to each other, right? I think Tanzania is very open, it's a tributary of health, right? If you feel overwhelmed by your exams or whatever it is, reach out. And even the lecturers themselves, they are very supportive. I can testify myself because when I write my deferred exams, I actually reach out to one of pediatric doctors. Because I felt like this is going to be a marathon. I'm writing alone, right? Exactly. So I reached out to her and she was very welcoming. She actually told me, no, there's nothing to worry about. The exam was just same standard as your friends, nothing different. So I've just done it, right? And of course, just from that small talk, I was able to calm my nerves and go to write the exam without feeling any pressure whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay, we deviate a bit. Maybe this one will be the last question. So I understand that when you're having this university pressure, you're studying, especially preclinical years, you spend most of the time in the library, most of us, the whole day you are there. How can someone build personal relationships? Do you think it's possible someone in this to have a personal relationship, to have a girlfriend, a boyfriend?
Okay, wow, that's I didn't see that coming. Okay. The simple answer is yes, right? But myself, actually, I was on the receiving end of it because I had this preference, right? Where I never wanted to date people from my campus, let alone from my profession, right? Because I prefer diversity. So I would always find myself with somebody from School of Humanities, right? And those people have, quote unquote, more time than us, yes, right? Yes. So you as a doctor, a student doctor, I mean, should be asking you, are you the only medical student at WUZA? Why aren't you giving me time, right? So I personally, I spent most of my university life as a single guy because of the same. However, I came to understand from my friends, okay, even just my personal experience, that it's very possible for you to have a healthy relationship with another person. Why? Because you first going to understand both of you, right? And if possible, right, date somebody who is in a similar situation as you. You can't have medical students at all, but at least somebody who is as busy as you. So that if you tell that person, okay, I can't talk today, we'll talk maybe tomorrow, she will understand, he or she will understand. Okay? So I think that's one thing I can actually advise people. Okay? But all in all, I think it's very possible, and I think it's a good thing because it helps you at time thereby it takes us hammer you and whatnot, right? You need somebody to talk to, right? Somebody you can complain, someone you can vent to. Okay, it's very much important that actually you have somebody you can talk to in terms of such issues. So I think I would advise, if you, of course, you have to get yourself right, yes, because they take it on you. Of course, just not just your time. There's financial aspect of it. You have to be emotionally supportive to the other partner. Okay, so when you feel like you can do it, I think you being a medical student should be a limiting factor for you having a relationship with another person. Yeah, so I would recommend that.
Okay, thank you very much, and we appreciate for you coming through for this episode, Dr. Landilani, and we are happy to thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, viewers. That's all for today's episode.